Welcome. So, alright, now just a few notes on jobs that need doing around the plot. And basically, we're making a dead hedge. So, as you can see, all this dead wood we've been stacking up all last year to create a bit of privacy, create a dead hedge. It's gone a bit wrong, so it's collapsed in on us. So we're going to redo it and do it properly, or better than it's been done, let's say. And so we're going to be working on that project this year, maybe this month. We'll talk you a little bit more through that. And however, what we've got is a border of rosehip shrubs. So we're going to be trimming the rosehip shrubs because they're basically, they're overgrowing and they're sort of obstructing the main pathway. So we need to snip them, prune them. You're going to need quite a bit of it growing, but we want to snip quite a bit of it as well. So we're going to be chopping, and we're also going to be harvesting the flowers in a couple of months' time. We've harvested plenty of flowers for our tea project. And so yeah, trimming. We've got an archway to make here, by the way. And what we've got here, you've got a cherry tree right there. I'm not sure if I planted it, I don't think I did. You've got a cherry tree here. So you've got your willow here. We're going to thin it out and then we're going to make this into a beautiful archway with the cherries growing in it, rose hips. You've got some willow as well. We'll weave that into it. So that's going to be like another sort of entrance point. And as you can see, it's quite sort of congested in there with all the like overgrowth and the brambles. We're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be chopping, killing a lot of this off, opening it up, and all the excess twigs we'll use for our dead hedge. Again, maintaining this border here. So another maybe archway. We need to trim all the dead growth off this willow. Every year you get like loads of dead stuff. So we'll use that. We'll compost that down, or we can burn it. We'll probably compost it. So we're going to be filling that out, weaving it. So it's going to be willow weaving. Yeah. So that's a good like therapeutic project. And I don't know, we can give like a little example of weaving. So let's just say for example, that's a bit high, but for example we'd weave it together like that. A little bit better than this, but just as an example, and then you'll have like design it the way that you want it. So we'll be working on willow weaving. There's the borders that need tidying up a little bit, so we'll cut the grass, and we might plant some stuff out here, but we've got flowers in there as well. We'll see some like violets growing there soon. We've still got daffodils. This is interesting. This is a jostaberry. So again, we'll weave the jostaberry into this border here. So that'll be, and the jostaberry is a hybrid between a blackcurrant and gooseberry, apparently. So maybe we'll take a bit off of it, but yeah. And we're on a bit of a mad mission as well to remove as much creeping buttercup as possible. So there's plenty of creeping buttercup in the ground. I don't know if you can recognise which one's creeping buttercup in there, but there's a few, you should see a few of them. So basically, there you go, yeah. All this is creeping buttercup. Now's a good time to take it out while the soil's saturated and wet. They'll come out pretty easily. So we're on a campaign because it's quite invasive. And so we're going to be harvesting plenty of raspberry leaves this year. Got quite a lot of raspberries growing, and raspberry leaves pretty good. Medicinally, make a nice tea from it. The apple tree, again, some people are interested in this sort of thing, horticultural type stuff, training the apple tree. So we're going to continue to put the stakes in and creating like an apple tree border. So it's been in here for a couple of years now, 2 or 3 years. I've grown this from seed, so we don't know what variety it's going to turn out to be. But we'll send that across, and you know, then again, we'll do all the organising of the border here. So we'll thin it out, and we'll create like a nice sort of fence type thing. Honeysuckle, that's another plant that we'll be weaving into the hedge. We might weave some of this wormwood in if it survives. It's not having a good one. I think it's been disturbed quite a lot, and but it's still alive. There's still like green growing on the wormwood, but I think a lot of it's might have died. Fortunately, we took cutting of it and we've got more growing elsewhere. Harvesting the nettles. We'll be doing that throughout the year, mainly this time of year, and then come again autumn.
Alright, let's begin.
Again, I wonder if you recognise what we've got growing here. So
Is that wild garlic?
Wild garlic, yeah. Edible. So we've got quite a bit of wild garlic there. You've got to be careful though, because there are other plants growing amongst the wild garlic. Obviously dandelions safe to eat.
Yeah.
But you get different kinds of bulbous plants that look similar. Like for that, for example, this is daffodil. So that's easy to get mixed up if you're not 100% sure. So you don't want to be munching on. You need to be a bit careful sometimes. But plenty of wild garlic, yeah. So that we'll thin that out as well at some point. We'll dig it up and we'll spread it. We'll have more of it growing. This little bit needs maintaining. We had inula growing in here last year, campaign. But we're going to relocate that. So this is, if someone got any ideas, any creative ideas, we'll make it look beautiful. And we should call it Pagonia. So that's a beautiful, I think it's a red flower. Got different coloured ones, but I think this one's red. So you'll see that growing in a few different places. This is a little bit herb section. So I want to tidy this up. Yeah, plenty of grass to cut, and that'll be nice once it's tidied. Herbs like rue. That's quite a folklorish plant. It's part of the citrus family, and it's got a funky smell to it. It's medicinal. So you've got rue. You've got motherwort growing in here. You've got mugwort growing in here. They're still not growing this year yet, but no doubt they'll start growing soon. So you've got mugwort. You've got fennel in here. In the wormwood. But
is that yarrow?
There's yarrow.
Yarrow as well, yeah.
Well said, yeah. Yarrow as well. So it needs attention. It'll be nice. We can make that really nice.
Yeah.
And as again, you can see the willow and hazelnut branches all on the border. So that can be tidied up. We can weave it, trim it, snip it, weave it, make that look really nice. The lovely Kim's, we've allocated this section for Kim, if she's still feeling inspired, under the apple tree. I've been pruning quite a bit of it off because there were a lot of overhanging branches kind of obstructing all this area, so we took quite a bit of it off, opened it up, and this could be beautiful circular area. So we'll make that great again. Some beautiful flowers in there. Another edible. I want to split this root. This is wood sorrel, so that tastes a bit like citrusy apple skin. So I'm going to divide that and try and spread it. Such a good plant, edible. Put that in your salads. Yeah, any sort. We'll be taking some of the weeds out. This one really needs to come out. Comes out easily. That's ragweed or ragwort. Yeah. So we're taking those out
Kiki.
before they spread the seed. Teasel, we'll be taking not all the teasels out, but we'll be taking some of the teasels out. Oopsie daisy. Now, these are a bit more apparent, the creep and buttercup. We'll be taking all those, well, as much of that out as we can. So, for example, you'll see a bit lower to the ground there, it's got like that, I don't know how you describe that shape there, but basically the heart of it there will be, yeah, we're removing those ones. Another little section here. Again, anyone fancies taking on just a little bit, that's a beautiful little section that not too hard to look after. Plenty of, you can see that's bushing out now. Do you recognise this one?
Lemon balm?
Yeah, you got it, yeah, you got it. But that's going to be awesome to harvest like in the next few weeks or about a month. It'll be like, so now the leaves are looking lush and get a lot off of them and be like that. We've got a lot of burdock. They're the seeds from the burdock. But it's really good to leave them in though, I think, because what I've noticed is a lot of ladybirds on these. Okay. I don't know why, if the eggs have hatched on them or, but that's a good sign. Lavender, I think this is a French or an Italian lavender. So I think we need to crop this, but we want to take cuttings from this as well and propagate. So I'm going to do some propagation, hopefully. The different herbs. The hugel needs sort of looking after a little bit. We're pulling some of these weeds out. You've got, do you know what that is?
No.
It's burdock.
Oh.
Yeah, that's because of letting them go to seed. It's not a bad thing though, because burdock's medicinal. It's, so we'll be able to harvest a bunch of these burdocks growing. Figwort, that is medicinal. We'll be pulling those up. I'm just tidying it and preparing that for growing. Whatever we decide to grow, I'm not sure yet. So, what else do we do? Okay, maybe those hawthorns, take a little bit of out. Beds a little bit. I'm feeding some leaf mulch into there. And over here we've already got some radishes growing in those little greenhouses. We've got, is it black Spanish radish I think it is? It's my favourite. Pretty good. And a little flower there, forget-me-nots. And you see I've put like that clump next to it. So that's how you kind of learn what's kind of growing. So once you see, because you'll see this in flower, and some people will recognise the flowers, it'll be like, wow, then they're pretty little things. So they're called forget-me-nots, yeah? And then, so what you realise is, when you see stuff like this growing somewhere else, and then you sort of look at the leaves, then you sort of have a clue that that's actually the same plant as that. So you see the different stages of growth, and then you're able to do something about it, and then you recognise that not everything's a weed as such. So Yeah. Oh, it's a messy in here. It's a bit of our playground. It'd be nice when we finished in here, but so what we've got is all these twigs that you see down here. They're all going in. Well, we're going to sort them out. So we're going to separate all the dead wood, which we'll compost it, put into the hugo, or we could burn it. And all the living stuff that's fresh, we'll like cut good lengths of it, and we'll put them in. We'll use them for the dead hedge. It's going to be down there, right? That's it. The other side of where the rose hips are growing. So we're going to be building that fence back up, dismantling it, and building it back up properly. And we've got plenty more to cut. So we've got like this row of hawthorn trees here, and I have started trimming it at the top. So we're going to be taking a few feet off of the length there and making it a nice sort of size, get more sunlight in, and encourage the hawthorn to grow more. So there is that to do. We've got the ladders, and that'll allow us to then, you know, all these brambles, we'll save as much of the bramble as we can, especially these long lengths, and we'll weave them into the hawthorn, and hopefully we'll get a lot of fruit from these plants. They're really good producers. And also allowing them to get more sun will improve the flavour of the fruit a lot as well. You find that fruit that's shaded tends to be a bit bland, whereas fruit that gets more sun on it tastes a lot more vibrant. So that'll be fun again. I mean, you need a good pair of gloves. We've got gloves, but they do rip you to pieces. They are they're good for looking after territory. It's like barbed wire basically. So yeah, we can get away with trimming some of it, but the idea is just to feed it back into the hedge.
And then I mentioned the grapevine.
The grapevine, good point, yeah. So that's been an interesting development, is the grapevines over the last year or two. Started pruning them back a lot more. And hello blackbird. Blackbird stomping ground round here. So yeah, we've got 3 rows. This is what I did last year. On the other side, I found that the grapevine were just climbing up the tree. So I created like 3 rows. So on your left hand side, I don't know if you can see the blue bungee string that I've connected, and I've started training the grapevines along those bungee strings. I need to improve that system, but we've got 3 rows there, and then the opportunities come to actually run 3 rows along here. It doesn't have to be 3 rows, but we've kept it as that. So I don't know if you can see, this is the bottom row. So that's from the grapevine. You'll see it starting to bud as well. So it does look dead. So I've got to remind people that this is actually the grapevine. And then you'll see another row just above. Yeah, that's quite a long one. And then again, there's actually 2 strands of that one at the top. I might cut one of them, just leave one. And that'll be 3 rows of grapevine, so that'll be interesting project. See how that goes. I think that's creepy. What is it?
It looks different.
It looks a bit different, doesn't it? It's got red in it. So I'll do an ID on that just to... Yeah, because that's creepy, but I think that's creepy. So yeah, we'll do an ID on that and see what it is.
Yeah, it's different shaped leaves.
See, that's what happened with the St. John's wort. I never had a clue it would grow in here. And I'd always just cut everything off, pull everything out. And then one day I saw the flower on it. And I've just been studying a little bit about some of the medicinal herbs. And I saw that the flower were the same as, you know, the St. John's wort flower. So I discovered we have St. John's wort growing. and we've just cultivated it ever since, so we've got quite a lot of it going in. The dead edge, I mean, I've taken loads of like cuttings from red currants, black currants, grapevines, maybe there's a few gooseberries maybe. So they're just for projects like either spreading around or for planting out in the wild somewhere. Let them grow naturally.
Kiki, no, don't pull the leaves off, darling.
Yeah, the dead edge. Which if you didn't do a bad job, you can see that side's a lot more stable. This side, however, collapsed, and not as much thought went into it. It was just a good way to sort of use all the dead wood to put make use of it instead of burning it all. But a lot of this can be composted now. It's a good time to compost some of this. So we'll work on that. We'll get a team together and hopefully make some progress. I've taken quite a bit off the plum tree because I think it's got some disease. It's not really producing a lot of fruit, and they shade out as well, the trees behind. So you've got a pear tree. In fact, you can see the flowers on the pear tree now. So that's a good sign. It did pretty good last year. So everywhere you see a flower, you should see a pear theoretically next year. But what we've done is we've allowed more light to come through, and so what was happening is, because there was no light coming through, or there was very little light coming through, the trees behind it were just leaning towards the bit of light they could find and literally falling down. So we've sort of been working on that, propped them up last year, the year before, and letting more light through now. So yes, and they're just maintaining these areas here. This is a red currant shrub, and then they're digging up some of these creeping buttercups from around it. See, they're thriving, those, but they want to come out. But then again, you've got the strawberries between them as well, so that makes it quite, difficult. But it has to be done. So we're going to go on a bit of a mad one, trying to take out creeping buttercups. This sweat lodge, I think we'll use that as a room to that little corner section there. Make a nice roof for that. And I think that's roughly, and there's obviously seed planting. We've got a lot of seed for. It would be nice to get as much growing as possible. So there's a lot of potential and still time. Got like absolutely loads of seeds, different sorts. Medicinal herbs, milk thistle for example, broad beans, all sorts. So the more the merrier, the more people we can get down here, the more fun we'll have.
Indeed.
And of course we'll do the outdoor education session where we can dedicate some time and space for the kids, the parents.
Like
that can be it can be a bit more educational. Kiki can give us a bit of a water sports education. Yeah. And again, there's the idea is to make a sort of a den there, a space den as it were. But we did put a few willow strips in there. They're starting to grow now, so they will hopefully make a nice kind of circular shape under the hawthorn tree for the opening of the den. The shed's going to come down.
Okay.
So anyone into building projects like that, we're going to be taking the shed down and we're going to be making a wood store and potentially make some space for the pizza oven, if we do a pizza oven. So that'll be all focused in that corner. But we want to keep that hawthorn tree as like a kind of shelter. And then maybe put a shelter underneath it as well for the wood. Or, you know, yeah, store things. What else? Yeah, that's roughly it. Yeah.